So we've seen how to generate standard data markup for different types that we have seen in this course, like the FAQs, the article markups, and the product markups. So how do you implement these in the website? How do you add the codes in your website? So you can add these using several methods, but an example is Google Tag Manager, using Google Tag Manager, which will need you to really understand how Google Tag Manager works. And another one is manually adding them in the pages. The best way is maybe using Google Tag Manager, because it's easier to manipulate that, and also Google is able to understand that. But if you're not techie, a good way is just adding them manually into your website. And that is what I'm going to show you in this course, how to do that in your website. So if you are using WordPress, just go and log in into your WordPress site. For this course, we've been using Fine Poultry Chicks to understand what to do here. So I've developed a sample page here. So this is just a page talking about, is it okay to pick up baby chicks? So maybe you've done your content here and you want to implement schema markups. For example, it's FAQ. FAQ is implemented on a specific page. You cannot implement one FAQ for all pages, because it doesn't make sense, because FAQs should be according to that content on that page. So maybe our FAQ, I'll use the previous example that we did. So this was the schema markup we generated. Let me just copy go back. Yes, want to continue from the same draft. So even if you lose the code, you can easily go back. That's why I like this side. So let's say this is the code we generated. So we want to add this schema markup to our page. We copy our schema. We've already tested it and seen that it works okay. So go back to your WordPress site. Edit the post. The beauty about Gutenberg editor, you can easily add codes or add blocks in between here. So you can just add anywhere on the page, You can just add that and then search for a block. Let's say we want a HTML, custom HTML. Custom HTML. Add that. Then we paste our code in here. Like I told you, the JSON codes, viewers will not be able to see it, but Google will see it. And we click update. Just to be sure, let's view our post. And if you view it, you can see I've added it somewhere here, but it can't be seen. So how do you know that your code is working? We check the URL, copy it, and go to our test tool. That is the schema markup tool, structured data tool, new test, fetch URL, paste it in there, then we run. If we run that, we can see it's showing you the type of schema types that have been detected. It has created a entry for the URL is here. This pre-built on the theme, because of the theme we are using, they pre-built this. There is FAQ, the one we've just inserted. You can see it here. How do I add schemas? So Google will take some time to get this and understand it properly and see and maybe give it out to the users if they need it. So maybe you can try and search it here and see how it looks like. If you're keen, you may be able to see it and see how it has been implemented in here. Now, there are other types of schemas that we cannot implement inside the page directly like this. For example, organization type. Organization type works for the whole website. An example of organization type, you can just go to Google. You can go to Google and find one. Maybe if we just search organization schema markup. So organization schema markup is what tells Google what kind of business it is, that kind of information, the logo, the website, the address, the phone number, so that they can able to give it out when people need it. So we just go to unused one here for the example. Let me pick one with a lot of information. Yeah, this one here. You can see it has the organization type, the product address. So you can just take this code and change whatever you need to change. Like here, you will change the location depending on where you are, the postal code, the address, the street address. Very important. This is mostly if you're marking up local schemas. This is where they use and they take the information from. This must be uniform throughout your website and the rest of the internet for it to work properly. So make sure you use this name, the same local entity, the same local address, the postal code, street address should be the same. Then the email that you're using should also be the same. The fax number or the phone number should also be the same. Then you can say here, maybe type the name of the owner or the blogger, and maybe even the phone number. You can see here, you can add the name of the website and the phone number of the website. So once you've implemented this, I'll just copy this. If I copy this, you'll want this information to appear throughout your website. You don't need to add it on each and every page. The best, if you like, you can add it on the About Us page and just add it anywhere within the pages I have shown you when you're adding this one. Or you can add it in the dashboard, in the HTML code. So just go to dashboard. Then once you're at the dashboard, come to appearance, then theme editor. At the theme editor, they will tell you that you should not update this because this will affect the working of your site. Tell them you understand. So you should be here if you really understand how to do this. Then come to theme functions. When you're at the theme functions, scroll down in between the meta tags. So depending on the WordPress theme that you are using, so it should be added between just inside the header. So if you don't want to mess with this, it's okay. I can show you another option. You can insert a plugin, add new. So add new, go to plugins, then you add new. Then search for a file called insert header. That's why I'm telling you, SEO, you don't really need to be techy because you can use a lot of tools. It's here. Insert headers and footers by WP Beginner. Install. Activate. Once you've done that, you'll find it at settings. Just come to the left side settings. You'll see insert headers and footers. So you can use this tool to insert scripts in any part of the website that you want. If you don't want to mess with the codes directly, and I'll advise you, maybe if you're not that techy, use this because it will be easy and you won't mess up anything in your website. So you want the script to fall in the header. The script can fall anywhere, maybe in the body or in the footer. So this script will do it in the header, add it in there, and then we're gonna save, and that's it. So we want to need to see if it has been saved. We go and check the URL and go and test. Every time you add a code, you have to go and test and see if Google will be able to find it. So here we insert the URL and run. This should take you a few seconds. If you run it, you can see here the entry which was pre-built with the theme. Then organization is here. You can see it has the same information. We just copied it and it's able to find this. So this is how you add this kind of codes, and you realize this one will be running throughout your website. So you can test it maybe with the URL that we did. for the blog page for this article here. You just copy that link and see if the organization markup is going through the whole website. Test that, run the test, and you can see it appears here, organization. So this one it's appearing for all pages on your website, but the FAQ is only for this single page. So that is how you add schema markups to your pages. So any type of schema, you create the code, come and add it here, test it, add it in your website, test it, and within a few days Google will be able to get it and implement it into their search results.